Welcome to the Mystic Spiral, the podcast where earth-rooted magic, animal wisdom, and ancient enchantment twist together like a serpent and a snail in the moss. Join us as we explore the unseen, the intuitive, and the beautifully strange.
Each episode invites you deeper into the spiral, into the myth, and into the wild magic that lives within and around all of us.
Hi, I'm Lauren, crystal healer, earth-rooted mystic, and friend of snails and mossy fae folk magic.
And I'm Laura, animal communicator, serpentkin fauna witch, and solitary sigil practitioner.
Hey Mythlings! Welcome back to the Mystic Spiral. Today we're mapping the card world, the three major tarot systems, Rider-Waite-Smith, Thoth, and Marseille, how they differ from Oracle and Lenormand decks, and we'll end with the question everyone asks us, how do I choose a deck?
Because not all decks speak the same language. Some are mythic, some are literal, some are intuitive, and some are pure affirmation. Knowing the difference helps you choose the tool that actually supports your magic.
And remember, if any questions should arise during this episode, send them to us at mysticspiralpodcast@gmail.com and we'll answer them in a future Q&A episode. So let's get into the three tarot system. Rider-Waite-Smith, which I call Smith-Waite because Pamela Colman Smith, who was the amazing artist who Arthur Edward Waite commissioned her to create these cards, she only got paid a flat rate and died penniless and with no recognition. Her name wasn't even on the original printing of the box. So it's very important that we pay homage to her and support this creation of hers. So I call it Smith-Waite. But it was created in 1909 by Arthur Edward Waite and illustrated by Pamela Colman Smith. And it is the foundation of most modern tarot decks.
So who the fuck is Rider?
Alright, so Rider is the freaking publisher. So the publisher of this deck got most of the credit back in the day. And is still getting credit today.
And didn't even do very much compared. Pamela did most of the work.
Let's be real, he didn't really do shit except print it. Anyways, that's our rant. Let's get back to the story for you.
So the Smith-Waite's defining feature is fully illustrated minor arcana, scenes with people, landscape, and symbolism. This makes intuitive reading accessible. Thanks, Pamela.
Seriously, thanks, girl. Symbolically, the Smith-Waite blends Golden Dawn occultism, astrology, numerology, and archetypal storytelling. Best for beginners, intuitive readers, narrative spreads, and psychological or spiritual readings.
So the Thoth Tarot was created by Aleister Crowley and painted by Lady Frida Harris. The Thoth deck is dense, esoteric, and alchemical.
The imagery of the Thoth is abstract and energetic rather than narrative. It incorporates Hermetic Kabbalah, astrology, Egyptian symbolism, and Crowley's Thelemic philosophy.
Several cards are renamed. Strength becomes Lust. Judgment becomes Eon, reflecting Crowley's cosmology. It's best for deep esoteric study, energy work, shadow transformation, and readers who like symbolic density. Fun fact, Crowley never saw his own deck published. Even though Lady Frida created it with his guidance, it wasn't commercially published until 1969, 22 years after his death. There's actually so many fun facts about this man that we may actually need to give him his own episode.
I agree. You know he chose 1969 on purpose, even though he wasn't alive.
He did.
Well, let's move along to the Marseille Tarot. The oldest of the three, dating back to the 1600s, the Marseille predates modern occult overlays.
The majors are iconic woodcut-style images. The minors are pip cards, simple arrangements of suit symbols without scenes.
Reading the Marseille relies on numerology, elemental theory, directionality, and pattern recognition. Best for traditionalists, readers who prefer minimalism, numerology-based readings, understanding tarot's historical roots. Even though the Marseille is one of the oldest well-known decks, the Solabusca Tarot is a monumental artifact in esoteric history, recognized as the oldest complete 78-card tarot deck in existence. It was engraved on copper plates around 1491 in northern Italy.
I can't imagine hand engraving that many copper plates.
This is very true, but it was 1491. I mean, what else they got going on?
True. So let's talk about how Tarot, Oracle, and Lenormand decks differ. Tarot is a structured system, always 78 cards, always the same architecture. It's archetypal, symbolic, and layered. It's used for deep exploration, storytelling, shadow work, and complex spreads.
Oracle decks are freeform. The creator chooses the number of cards, the theme, the cosmology, no fixed structure.
They speak in broad energetic messages rather than archetypal cycles. They're used for daily polls, emotional check-ins, clarifying tarot, and working with specific themes like animals, ancestors, and moon cycles.
And finally, we arrive at the Lenormand. Lenormand is a 36-card system with fixed symbols: ship, ring, fox, coffin. It's literal, practical, and read in combinations.
Where tarot is mythic, Lenormand is predictive. Ship plus letter equals news from far away. Ring plus heart equals romantic commitment. It's used for timing, real-world questions, yes and no clarity, and predictive readings.
So let's get into how to choose a deck. Choosing a deck is part intuition, part aesthetics, part lineage. Here's how to approach it. Start with the system you want to learn.
If you want structure and intuitive imagery, Smithwaite is your deal. If you want esoteric depth, go with Thoth. If you want historical roots, the Marseille is probably your deal. If you want emotional guidance, I would go with Oracles. If you want practical answers, Lenormand. And if you want support, not necessarily divination, affirmation decks. I do enjoy using an affirmation deck at the end of a reading, if more clarity is needed.
Take a look at the artwork. Does it speak your language? You're going to spend a lot of time with these images. Do they feel alive? Do they invite you? Do they make you feel curious? If the art doesn't move you, the deck won't either.
Some decks have rich, thoughtful guidebooks. Some are sparse, some are poetic. And some are instructional. If having a detailed guidebook is important to you, then make sure you research the author or artisan's writing. Choose the voice that supports your learning style.
Consider your purpose. Who are you reading for? Or what are you reading for? Is it self-reflection? Then I would go Tarot Oracle. Prediction? Lenormand. Emotional support? Probably an affirmation deck. Is it a deeper study? I would do Thoth or Marseille. Clients? Smithwaite or Lenormand.
Pick up the deck if you can and let your body respond. Notice the sensation. Warmth, curiosity, resistance. Your nervous system knows before your mind does.
Tarot is a relationship. You grow. Remember, your first deck doesn't have to be a forever deck. I have plenty of decks, and I love them all.
I have so many decks.
It's all good. You can just collect them. It's fine. Also, if you have a deck that no longer serves you, at Groundings I do a tarot swap periodically. Usually every few months we do the swap, so you can bring in any used deck, Oracle, Tarot, Lenormand, anyone that doesn't call to you, and swap it out for something that does call to you on our table.
I've gotten some really cool decks that way, actually.
It's so much fun, and then you can really kind of like put yourself out there, see what you wouldn't normally be gravitated towards. So, yeah, come check it out if you can.
It's a fun time.
I want to bring up a very important subject. In the world of tarot, there's a shadow that slips through the marketplace. Pirated decks. They look almost right at first glance, but like a glamour cast over a hollow thing. But when you hold one, you can feel it. The spirit is missing.
A tarot deck isn't just cardstock and ink. It's a collaboration between the artist, the writer, the printer, the ancestors of the tradition, and you. It's a living bridge. And when a deck is pirated, that bridge is broken. The artist, the one who dreamed the images, poured their heart and myth and labor into the work, receives nothing. Their magic is taken without consent, and consent is sacred in all forms of magic.
That's right. When we use a pirated deck, we're not just saving a few dollars. We're participating in a spell of extraction, a spell that says your art does not matter, your labor does not matter, your magic does not matter.
A legitimate deck carries the artist's blessing, the energy of ethical exchange. It feels differently in the hands, warmer, clearer, more rooted. It reads differently too, because magic flows best through what is freely given, not what is stolen.
So if you're called to a deck, let yourself be called to the real thing. Support the creators. Those visions light your path. Let your tools be clean, consensual, and aligned with the world you want to weave.
Because every time you choose an authentic deck, you're casting a spell of reciprocity. You're saying, I see you, I value you, I honor the magic you've brought into the world.
And that, my friends, is the kind of spell that always comes back blessed.
So how do you spot these pirated decks? You look for poor quality printing, blurry images, off-center, cut cards. Also, if there isn't a book that comes with it, just a little code to scan on the back, 9 out of 10 times it's a pirated deck. And sometimes there's not even anything to scan.
Please do not purchase decks off of Temu. They are all stolen, period. There even have been instances where I have reported stolen decks on big online stores that sound like Schlamazon.
And if you remember, Lauren, there was that time that I got a deck off of Etsy and I brought it to you and you realized that it was stolen.
That's true. There's kind of icky people everywhere, I guess, unfortunately.
You just have to be mindful.
Yeah.
Do your best.
Do your due diligence.
And that's also another reason to support local businesses. You can put your hands on them and actually see what you're getting. If you're unsure, you can even ask a real person questions. Whether you choose the structured myth of tarot, the intuitive flow of oracle, or the sharp clarity of lenormand, you're choosing a language for your intuition.
And the right deck is the one that helps you hear yourself more clearly.
Before we leave today, we're going to pull a card. Today we were called to use the Solitary Witch Oracle by Lucy Cavendish and Lady Victoria. As a friendly reminder, please take what resonates with you and simply leave the rest.
All right, let's get this party started. Gonna do a little shuffle. We got the Maiden, the Mother, and the Crone. It's a really beautiful card. It has some shrubbery and a little water pool.
Some really pretty flowery trees.
Some trees, a little tiny deer friend. Is that a little bird too? Yeah, and a little tiny bird on the corner. Obviously, we'll post this for you to see. And the message from this card is Maiden, Mother, Crone. 3 ages of humanity. Youthful energy, creative life force. The old wise ones welcomed. Acknowledging and seen. A healing for the land. Animals and people through respect of all ages of humanity. There shall come a flowing recovery for all who have suffered. All who have been silenced, knowing those of many ages, what once was hidden now comes into view and is shared with respect. It's pretty deep for today. Oh, I just noticed too, there's a little castle on the hill with like a little crescent moon. It's kind of cute.
These cards are very moony, and I also like the simplicity of the back of them.
I do too. I like the texture of the card. I'm a big
yeah, they feel great in your hands.
Tactile, yeah. I wish they were just a little smaller, easier to shuffle, but other than that, I'm okay with it.
And they're very matte, except for the shiny pentacle in the back.
Yeah, yeah.
And next time on the Mystic Spiral, since we've been chatting about him, I think it would be fitting to tell you about Aleister Crowley and his very intriguing life.
I can't wait. Until then, Mythlings, keep listening and keep your magic soft and steady. Bye for now.